ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Donna Just Being Real. My channel is all about dating, love, relationships, and toxic relationship advice channel. Yep, we got another relationship. And this one was insane. I covered this before. This lunatic woman, Taylor Schabusiness, something like that. Well, let me just read a little bit about this one. This woman is completely insane. Yes, she's insane. And my personal opinion, she's not acting. All right. A Wisconsin woman accused of decapitating her lover reportedly made bizarre claims during a psychiatric evaluation. Taylor Schabusiness allegedly claimed that she witnessed Johnny Cash die on a train, along with the stating that she had a thing with the notorious serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. Do you hear this? This is insane. Schabusiness is charged with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and third-degree sexual assault for allegedly murdering her lover, Shad Thyrion. I might be mispronouncing his name, but make sure you read the description so you get the name, right? And this happened in February 2022. Now let's go back a little bit. When I had covered her, do you remember this is the lady who went insane and she attacked her lawyer? The lawyer? Well, she back in court. She got a new lawyer. Good luck. Hopefully she don't attack you. Alright, so we're going to listen to this one. Now, in this one here, the woman accused of decapitating her lover claims that Jeffrey Dahmer and her had a love thing. This is insane. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into this one. But make sure you hit the like button, share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. If you need to reach out to me, look in the description. You'll find my email address for dating, love, relationships, coaching. Or if you have a viewer's request, or you need to reach out to me for something. So make sure you read the description. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this woman is completely insane. Let's get it.
At least during the interview that you had with her on June 19th, can you give me any specific information as to what she said that may have been odd, or to kind of back up these hallucinations that you're testifying about?
When I asked her about auditory visual hallucinations, she began to describe hearing a train whistle that got progressively louder during the interview. And it sounded like, it seemed from her point of view, that she was actually seeing a train. At one point, towards the end of the 2 hours, that became so prominent that she, was very, very distracted about it. She does have some coping strategies for how to deal with that, like when she's in the courtroom and other times. So she described that. Yeah, sometimes I can repress that and control it. She reported what we call command hallucination.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you see that smug look on her face? She's completely out of mind. Look at her expression. Now, this is a psychiatrist, the one who evaluated her. And I'm going to also have another video, but that's a long one, when she was in trial. This is just a clip of that trial, but I'm going to upload the other one. You really got to see that one, okay? So, and also make sure you look at the end cards and the end screen. Excuse me, the cards and the end screen. So you can find the other video that when she attacked her lawyer. Let's get back to it. Hit the like. Oh, I'm definitely going to cover this. If this trial goes public, I'm going to cover this. This woman's insane. Resume.
That tell her to do things for herself, attack people, and she said most of the time she can control that. She said at one point that regarding the train, she just, again, a real tangent, she said that Johnny Cash died on the train. I think the most, I know, the most weirdest thing she said at the point where I was assessing her knowledge about how to act in court, since there's obviously been some problems, this became really bizarre because she talked about the incident of exposing herself in court, and she indicated that she did it to get the judge to like her. And then at that point,
I shouldn't be laughing. Did she say she gonna expose herself in court so the judge will like her? No, she's out of her mind. That's a dangerous woman. Resume.
asked you, her attorney, to describe courtroom behaviors. And she said, again, I have those statements in my report. I don't know if you want me to, look here just a minute here, give me that here. This was one of the more, and this is where I concluded that she lacks the insight and judgment and the mental capacity to understand the proceedings. I asked her I was going through the plea options with her, and by the way, even though I was doing an NGI evaluation, I assessed competency to proceed to trial in all of my forensic evaluations. If they're just for NGI, I still evaluate the person for competency, doesn't matter. So I was asking her about the plea options. Again, she gave some on-track answers. But when I asked her about what the NGI plea means, she said titties. And I asked her some follow-up questions about what's appropriate courtroom behaviors. She said, show titties in court to judge. And I'm reading from my page 6 here of my evaluation. She recalled doing that in the courtroom, and she hoped it would help the judge's opinions now. That was one of the most unusual things. I asked her about when she told me about that she had been diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, age 11 or 12, treated with Adderall. She thought that if she's angry in court, so this is where I was trying to assess her ability to work with you, Mr. Freilich. She thought if she was angry in future court appearances and she cannot understand what is going on, she can ask Mr. Freilich, who will, quote, tap his toes. I asked her about the attack on Mr. Jolly in the courtroom and what her thoughts were at the time. She said, and there's numerous other references. The weird thing that when I briefly discussed the current legal charges with her, she said that she had a thing with Jeffrey Dahmer about a year ago, and just on and on. There were just numerous.
She said she had a thing with Jeffrey Dahmer. She's completely out of her mind. Well, we already know she's out of her mind what she did to this man. She decapitated this man, put his head in a bucket, and his mother discovered the body. And then she cut up a couple other parts of his body and left it all over the place and told, basically, if I'm correct, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. She told officers to go look for like a scavenger hunt. She's dangerous. But this is another one. Abuse when she was a child. You see, this is what I be talking about. Child abuse is very serious. And when you do these things to these children, this is how they grow up to become monsters. I'm going to get into this one. I'm going to do a little bit more research on her. But she went through some stuff as a child. And now look at her. Oh, let's not forget the drugs. If I'm correct, she's a meth head. Let's get back to it. Leave those drugs alone. Resume.
Of these strange comments about Johnny Cash being on the train, she went further into her tangential thoughts about the train, how loud his whistle was, and how Johnny Cash overdosed apparently on a train. And so there were numerous examples of that. Those are some of the most prominent ones.
Were you, as part of your evaluation, did you talk to her about alcohol or drug use or abuse?
Yes.
And can you tell me a little bit about your discussions with her on those topics, and then any opinions that you had about that?
Yeah, let me just find it here. She, in my evaluation, and then regarding previous evaluators, she is fairly consistent about it, and I don't have the exact years written down, but she began to use some drugs after her mother's death when Miss Schabusiness was in 5th grade. I think THC, she has said she's never been a big drinker of alcohol, but then started to use, she used LSD a couple times, I think in high school or shortly thereafter, but then began to use methane or cocaine, powder cocaine, sometime, and I have to look through, find the dates or how old she was. You know, she started using powder cocaine sometime, I think, after high school, and then methamphetamine, and along with THC and other drugs, maybe in her early 20s.
Did she indicate to you that she used lots of methamphetamine?
Yes. And sometimes she has said that she, could use it 8-9 times in a day sometimes. And then I think, actually, I think it was more around 2020, because her husband, she told me that her husband was a meth dealer currently in prison, and that she started to use methamphetamine a lot around in 2020. And she's had some drug treatment, but then left. She didn't finish drug treatment.
Did she describe how the methamphetamine would make her feel?
Yes, and this is unusual, a little counterintuitive, but she said it made her, that methamphetamine was the only thing that helped her thinking and brought her down enough to be able to think clearly. And interestingly, sometimes in a person with a psychotic mental disorder, sometimes the illegal substance has a paradoxical effect. I've encountered this in a couple other evaluations. I kind of give an example of a person with attention deficit disorder with Adderall, which is the stimulant prescribed to treat ADHD, which she has and has been prescribed Adderall in the past. And Adderall is a stimulant, and so you wonder, why would you want somebody who has attention deficit hyperactivity to be more stimulated? It has a paradoxical effect with people who have ADHD, and it actually helps them to be less agitated, less up. Well, similarly, with people with a psychotic mental disorder, sometimes a stimulant drug like methamphetamine can actually, or LSD. I've encountered this in a handful of other cases where the person with a psychotic mental disorder, this is very similar to what Ms. Schabusiness has reported. Sometimes the drug, methamphetamine, can actually help them with their problems with thinking, feeling real hyper, not being able to get things together. Sometimes can help them, and sometimes they use vast quantities of it to help with that. Again, it's a form of self-medication, but it can have a paradoxical effect, and that's what she has described to other treaters. And the use of methamphetamine, she didn't want to take antipsychotic prescribed medications, but she has stated that she took the methamphetamine to help with her thinking, and it was the only thing that helped, she said.
Did she tell you that when she took methamphetamine, it made her feel like she was floating in air?
Yes, and she told me that, but then she has told other evaluators that too.
This
If you
is
think you have a thyroid problem, chances are you've gone to the doctor and they
crazy, excuse me, sorry about that. This is a crazy, dangerous woman. Yes, she is. OMG. I'm definitely going to cover this because this was interesting. I remember when this came, I think it was like in February, like on Valentine's Day, if I'm correct, when she attacked her lawyer. Just went completely insane on him. Oh my gosh. All right, but like I said, stay tuned because I have more of the full one of the psychiatrist evaluation. I love to hear the psych evaluations. If you know my channel, I like to hear the psych evaluations. I like the body cams. I like the interrogations because you learn a lot. But I definitely like the fact that you can find out about the childhood of what happened in the past. You can find out a lot about that, and I think that's going to be very interesting for to learn about. Because she's one of those people. Oh, excuse me here. That's a little too loud. she's one of those people that she had a very bad childhood, and it explains a lot of why she became the woman that she is now. Not trying to give you excuses, but like I said, my channel is a teaching channel that we need to learn from. And when you abuse children when they're young, and the abuse been going on for a long time, this is what they turn out to be, is a monster. What she did to this man, this poor man. And just imagine what the mother's going through. She discovered her son's head in the bucket. Oh, so sad. So sad. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, the end of this one, stay tuned. I've showed the full one. The full one when she was in court. And you get to hear everything the psychiatrist said. But this was the clip of her saying she had a thing with Jeffrey Dahmer's. I'm done. I can't with these people. Alright, like I said, date smart, not thirsty, and stay away from drugs. Because if I'm correct, they was just both getting high, and it was one of those things, she was into that kinky sex, and he was joining her, and that night, it just went a whole nother ball game. Adios.